Welcome to Inside Sim Racing and another test drive with Forza Motorsport 6's Select Car Pack. This is the 2014 Chevrolet Cruze World Touring Car. Alright, so we're going for a lap. A full lap around the Nordschleife / GP circuit. Gotta be careful. These guys can't seem to make the corner. Oh crap, and I can't make that corner. And this car is inherently just like other cars in the game, where you have that heavy feel of the wheel and then all of a sudden it does this push to snap loose when it feels like your entry speed is too high. It's a very unnatural feeling compared to something to like Race Room with the touring cars. Race Room just feels more natural. So if you want to drive with a wheel in Forza, it just takes a little bit of getting used to. Actually, not just a little bit. It takes quite a bit of getting used to. You almost have to retrain your brain. Because the feeling that it gives you, it almost makes it like you should be afraid to steer the wheel too far. It's a very, to me at least, it's a very odd sensation. Okay, you're running up through the gears. Got a field of 11, just because I don't like duplicates. There we go. Nope, down one gear too far. Torque steer is apparent. Which is okay. That's how they're supposed to feel. Like I said, what just throws you off is the way that the car steers. So you just have to kind of compensate for that. Can't charge the turn, can't overdrive the car. And it's very, very easy to do in Forza. Only upgrade I made to the car was for the brakes. There's no brake balancer or pressure adjustment. Step on the gas. That you can make, so I bought that just so, again, Forza seems to be able to really lock up the brakes fairly easy. So I tend to like to take out some brake pressure, and it seems to help. In fact, I think I'm like clear down to 75. Put some more brake to the front. I think it comes as 50-50. Just to try to get rid of some of that back end. Back ends like to slide. So I'd rather have the car push going into the turn, which is different than the push that it gives you from the force feedback. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's different types of push to the car. You have corner entry where your speed is too much. You have on throttle where the car, in this case, in a front-wheel drive car, that means it's trying to spin the tire. In a rear-wheel drive car, it just means that you've got a lot of traction at the rear end. You've got a push to snap loose condition, where the car just does not have enough front-end grip, and all of a sudden because you keep feeding it wheel, it gets into this snap oversteer condition. So you turn, all of a sudden the back end breaks out. And that can be diagnosed as the car being too loose, but what's the problem is actually you don't have enough front end grip, or you're forcing the car too hard into the turn. There we go. I could have shifted to 5th there. Thought 4th gear was going to last me a little longer. The perils of talking and trying to think of the next thing you want to talk about while driving. Big Brad. Looks like John. He's out in front. Almost too deep. Like I said, if I was to compare this course with race room, like I said, the car in race room is just a little more natural feeling. You really just have to adjust for, I'm not sure what this guy's gonna do. But you really just have to adjust for the front wheel drive in race room. Oh, jeez. Well, whoops. Wasn't ready for him to do that. Usually it's just a light lift through there. And he flat hit the brake. Oopsie. I've had some comments about how sometimes I over rev the car, and there's two parts to that. Number one, I have to turn my headphones way down quite a ways so I can just barely hear the cars. Otherwise, I end up shouting while I'm talking. Gosh, dang it. Front wheel drive for the win. I don't feel like I'm entering too fast. I feel like he's just getting on the brake really early. Come on. But anyway, my headphones are turned way down, which I shift by sound. And when you're jumping from car to car, especially if you're not familiar with the rev, out of the way, the rev range, passing the grass. The other part to over-revving is it just depends on the engine and the gear ratio as well. Two-stroke, when you run a two-stroke, you definitely feel when you've passed that power curve. Four-stroke engines are a little different. Some motors, some engines, you notice the power drops, some you don't. So combine that with your gearing. If you're gearing, depending on the track, If you shift right at the shift light, what can happen is you can actually lug the motor, and then it becomes hard to get off the turns, so sometimes over-revving is necessary. Just so the motor doesn't chug between shifts. And here we go. This will be the end. Alright. Well, I've run much faster than that. I've run in the 940s. But kind of beating and banging around with that other car slows you down a little bit. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Again, hit that like button if you did enjoy this video. Visit isrtv.com for all the latest in sim racing news. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so for more Forza Motorsport 6 action. You can follow us on Twitter at Inside Sim Racing. You can follow me on Twitter, if you like, at Strange_Billy. Also, if you want to be friends on Xbox, we can be friends. No, but seriously, you can send a friend request to Red Cypher so we can compare times and the like on Xbox Live. And yes, once again, that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.